Hello and welcome to CEAL Week 4, Day 4, the continuation. I'm Hunter, aka Baby, joined here by Ryder, aka the Dragon Rider.
Hi.
We've got a really fun match in store for you today. Unfortunately, we will only be playing the one, but that hasn't stopped us in the past. What's your opinions on this match, Ryder?
I'm super hyped. I've watched SEAL Team 6 before, but I haven't seen them boys in action. Last time I watched SEAL Team 6, I did see an incredible performance by the support, and I'm ready to see that more of that this game.
Absolutely, I'm really looking forward to it. Now, I don't want to dilly-dally too long, and I'd like to just hop into our pick ban here, actually.
Yeah, let's jump right on into it here. We do have Dem Boys on the blue side and SEAL Team 6 on the red side.
Exactly. And in this draft, we can see some really interesting patterns emerging. We see that the early Caitlyn pick, just a safe blind pick for the bot lane, gets immediately matched by the side of Team 6 with the Kaisa, saying that, hey, look, we see that you want to do what you want to do in lane. We're not even going to interact with you in lane. We're just going to scale up. Maybe this threatens the Nautilus or some other sort of engagey support, but most likely it's just saying, you can have lane phase, I'll take it from there. Followed up on that with the Zac and the Renekton. Zac matches the scaling, and the Renekton in the top lane, just an outright power pick, really strong early game, scales well into mid game. Matched by the Set, a safe pick in the top lane. Go through our second round of bans. We see an Anivia and an Echo ban, two very targeted bans coming out against the mid laner of Dem Boys. Followed up with the Morgana pick, just to help out with the Caitlyn. Really nice combo in lane with the traps and the dark binding. Pretty much an instant kill if you can land that consistently. And the Zyra to answers, very strong lane bully, great at helping Kaisa get through this lane phase, get to the scaling point. A Jace mid lane comes out, which is matched by a Brand, and I'm really interested to see how that lane works out. It might actually be Morgana mid lane for all I know. It'll be interesting to see where these champions end up going.
Yeah, I'm really interested. I do really like the throwback Jace mid lane. I haven't seen that in a hot minute, and I'm really excited to see what they're gonna pull off and how they're gonna really execute this game here.
Exactly. With that said, let's just jump right into game here. Awesome. Now, as we get into the game, we do see it is in fact a Morgana mid lane against the Jace and the Brand bot lane, with the Caitlyn against the Zyra and the Kaisa. Brand Caitlyn, sort of a similar concept to the Morgana, a little bit harder to execute, but the Brand stun 2 seconds still at rank 1. Gonna really be able to set up for those Caitlyn traps, present a lot of kill pressure if the side of SEAL Team 6 makes any mistakes in this lane phase. See a bit of early ward
Zac
going
being
down.
spotted. He is gonna E in here. Not quite landing onto the Jace. It was pretty nice ward by the side of Dem Boys here. That's really gonna be helpful for them to find where the jungler is gonna go, especially a Nunu who can clear super fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And Zac too, starting with his E, really gonna slow down his first camp clear. Gonna take him like an extra 5 or 6 seconds, depending on how good his leash is. And that's really gonna be obnoxious going into the Scuttlecrab contest against this Nunu. Gonna be showing up late likely if he wants to match the Nunu in camps. So how do these lanes play out, I suppose? Top lane's just going to be a brawl fest. It can really go either way. A bit of a skill matchup, bit of a snowball-y matchup. The jungle is very clear-centric, I suppose. Neither of them are particularly good gankers, but Nunu can make some really crazy plays, albeit they are inconsistent. In the mid lane, we do see Jace versus Morgana. Jace is really going to want to try and harass this Morgana out, force her to farm with only her W, never let her get too many autos on the wave once he gets some levels. And we'll see if he's able to execute that properly. And then bot lane, again, a bit of a skill matchup. Kai'Sa's going to have very little agency in this lane, just because she's down so much range
Nice Morgana Q into the Zac. He's going to go into this. Jace has to flash away here.
Yeah, and that's just another strange level 2 gank coming out from the Zac, but working out in their favor and really putting the pressure down on mid now with no flash.
We do see Zax might be actually looking for another like gank, or he actually might even go see what Nunu's up to in his jungle here. So keep a close eye on him. He should be doing some interesting maneuvers. And we do see him going back in on mid lane, getting a nice E with the Morgana. Fine, getting first blood for Morgana. That is really nice on the side of Dem Boys.
Yeah, and that's just the repeat gank. You see the Jace's flash go down. You know you can apply some pressure there. You know you can get it in, but we see an engage coming in bot.
Bot lane very low here onto the Caitlyn. She does fall to the Kai'Sa. Brand's gonna try and get the Kai'Sa, but is unable to with the heal. You do see a gank happening top side there, but Renekton's pretty slippery. He can get out of that pretty easily there, actually. Both laners are pretty low. They're probably just gonna let the wave crash and then do another reset after that. Looking upon where Zac's gonna be clearing, he did get that scuttle after that Nunu ganked and had to go back to his jungle there. So that's really good for him, actually. That will help him a lot with his clear, even though he did a double gank mid lane, which was going to really affect his level and his whole clear as a jungler.
Yeah, and yeah, really, the double gank for the Zac not being punished very much at all in farm-wise by the Nunu. Only up one camp right now, and Zac's gonna look to close that gap pretty quick. He's got a much faster clear speed than the Nunu, early game especially. And the Nunu's really gonna have to make up for that with the volatile creative ganks that we mentioned earlier. But it's gonna be hard to do that when the waves are in this position. Maybe you can look for something bot lane, but you're out of position for that right now, so it's gonna be a bit of a wait until we see if Nunu can execute anything.
Yeah, very well said there. We do have the Cloud Drake coming up in about 30 seconds here. Any thoughts on which team's gonna try and go for the early drag or try and be potentially just gonna seep out any picks? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's really gonna come down to who gets the first gank on the bottom side of the map off. Because for the side of Dem Boys, the bot lane there, the Caitlyn brand, really putting on a lot of pressure into this turret. Despite the kill going down earlier, that's not enough to influence the actual kill.
Oh, wow. Oh, wait, there's more. I'll talk about that in a second here, but we're going to see an engage happening by the Dragon here, actually taking out the jungler from the side of SEAL Team 6, and you do see the engage onto the Dragon from Dem Boys. But I think, Jace does get the passive proc off on to Zac here, and we do see another fight top side, but bot side we do see that Dragon fight, and Renekton, I think he's going to get another kill here. His W is going to be up in a couple seconds, and there he goes, Q with the execute there. So I want to talk about that for a second here. You saw top lane, them kind of duke it out, going a little bit back and forth. Renekton actually, I find, favors this matchup a little bit more, especially in the early stages of this game, because he has the slash and dash to dodge the W. He has the stun to really, like, when he has, like, the Fury, he can take out the set, like, whole shield itself, and then just healing off of his just Q after Q after Q is going to be huge here. And you saw just the amount of pressure he can apply onto Set there when he killed him the first time, but when Set TP'd on to a minion, you saw him do it again. He might get caught out here. Nunu is going to be able to contest the Renekton.
Define bot, Nolan. I think he might just win with 2 versus 1.
Yeah, you're not wrong. This crocodile is huge. He might just... if he was able to get the Q there, that's dangerous. This guy, he's proxy farming against 2 people.
Yeah.
I respect that.
So yeah, in the top lane, I guess it's been a little while now, what with that discussion and the constant fighting, but the first kill the Renekton got down onto this set is really important. It really shows the understanding of this matchup. Fighting bot lane.
Yeah, you do pick that up too. Very good, just like catch off of Zyra there, getting onto the brand, and then the Kai'Sa just has a good DPS that she can apply onto him with the ignite. Does make brand fall to that nice trade you see bot lane.
Yeah, and as I guess I was trying to say in the top side there though, the Renekton holds his W for when the set would cast his Haymaker for his shield, but that set never casts the shield, so the Renekton just keeps auto-attacking with his Fury available for his Ruthless Predator there. And if the set ever decides to protect himself, he'll break the shield, and since the set doesn't, he just stuns him and then gets the last auto off for the kill. Very, very close, but well calculated. We do see the first dragon going over to the side of CEAL Team 6, thanks to, I believe, a back timing going down bot side, but it's only just that, and they're not too far ahead right now. Zach looking for the engage, though, and probably won't find anything here.
Oh, he does get the flash in, does get the Q onto him, going onto the smite onto Kai'Sa, but not quite there to pick them up. But Zyra just has a really good disengage, which makes her a really great support, actually, with that E and just being able to punish laners for being too far ahead and being able to slip away in hard situations like that.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit overeager from the side of Bois there. The Zach there just does not have the follow-up to go for that play there. Meanwhile, mid lane, we do see it's just going very even. Morgana has built some armor with the Seeker's Arm Guard, looking to just farm this lane out. Maybe look for some picks with her Q if she gets them, but otherwise just take every minion she can. Make sure Jace isn't leaving, isn't applying too much turret pressure, and just chill there. Rotate with her team maybe if she gets the opportunity. Now top lane is pretty disastrous at this point with the 2 kills that this Renekton has picked up at this point in time. It's going to be super, super hard for this set to interact in this lane, barring massive like 3-man rotation or some serious mistakes or failed turret dives coming out of the side of Bois. And they're just gonna have to really chill. I'm pretty sure Renekton can very easily 2v1 the Nunu and the set at this point in time. And if you don't respect that, I feel like you're gonna be hurting.
Yeah, it's a very interesting matchup. The Renekton really getting farther ahead there. You do see him, I think he's slowly building into a Black Cleaver. And we do see a gank mid lane, but he does get caught on a ward. But yeah, most of the time you see Renektons being like building work here, but you really this Renekton really likes the armor shred, and rightfully so. If he's gonna be get ganked a lot, it's gonna be a really helpful tool for him to just keep his snowball alive.
Yeah, we see Zach there in the mid lane, just pushing in the way for support. We see some poke coming down bot lane, chunking the Zyra out, getting the Dark Harvest proc too, which feels nice always on these Dark Harvest champions, but more fighting in the jungle.
Let's see what happens for this. I think, nope, yeah, that's going to be the tip of the hat, and goodbye to you, sir, as they just go on their merry way. I think both junglers are going to be looking for a topside skirmish. I think Zach right now, he's really just following the Nunu around. Wherever Nunu goes, Zach's going to be following. You do see a nice engage happening on the side of CEAL Team 6, going on to the Caitlyn here. Now it's just going to be Brand versus both of the members here, but massive damage coming out with his ultimate. Almost 2v1ing them, actually, which is quite impressive on the Brand side here, but does fall to the Zyra. And again, you see the roams coming up to the top lane here. You see Morgana roaming up. You see Jace roaming up. You have Nunu already up there. You have Set, and then Zach just kind of over by the Shelly here. Something might happen. Oh, we do see the engage onto the Set here. Renekton going in, slash and dashing over onto the Set, taking him out. There's the flash going out from a Nunu. Flash out from Renekton there. Is it going to be enough to save his life? Morgana is there, but low in mana. Here comes Zach over the wall with his E. Does take out Jace. Nunu is alone underneath this turret. Does smite the minions so they get the proc on the aggro, for turret onto the Zach, but it's not going to be enough. He does have passive, and they're going to be dropping the Shelly. Well, all of this was happening, folks. Zach was taking Shelly.
Yeah, and that's just more dominance coming out in this top lane. The Renekton now 4-0-1, 600 bounty, 50 CS advantage already in this top lane, and it's not going to get any better for the set. This lane really shouldn't ever recover without some really ridiculous things happening. So we see Caitlyn getting chunked out in the bot lane, might end up dying to these plants, not quite. Kai'Sa ulti not available to follow up there and secure the kill under, but that's just so brutal for this Caitlyn. Walking back to the lane, getting chunked out this low, has no lifesteal available naturally in her items or in her kit right now. Just some fleet footwork procs to hopefully sustain her back up above half, but even then, you're still dead in one combo to the Zyra at this point. More fighting going on in the river, though.
Yeah,
And it's
Nunu's
from
just gonna
Nunu to
walk away
Zach.
from that. Yeah, there's no really stopping that Nunu from getting away from the Zac. The Zac doesn't really have enough DPS to take out the Nunu currently. You do see the Infernal Dragon coming down here, and you have Renekton roaming top, but a lot of the members of SEAL Team 6 actually starting to roam down to potentially try and grab a pick here and grab another dragon. We're just
Yeah,
waiting to see what's going to happen here. You do see the Nunu getting hit with the Q. Nice damage coming out. Wow, that's a lot of damage. That was the damage just intertwining with the Morgana, with the Brand there, was huge onto the Nunu, and that's going to be a really nice, easy pickup on the side of Dem Boys. I really like the synergy between this Morgana and Brand in this composition, and you see it really showing in that pick here.
yeah, just great CC layering coming out of the side of Dem Boys. Picks off the Nunu, gets them the free dragon secure. We do see Mountain Rift coming up here, and just that'll be a good dragon for both teams to pick up, probably. Yeah, I really don't think either side has a massive advantage for it. Both jungglers are going to be building pretty much full tank, and both top laners going to be building bruiser, and then everyone else is more or less DPS, so shouldn't see too much of a slant either side for the Mountain Dragon. Once you get Mountain Soul, whoever gets it's going to be very happy with it. This game doesn't currently look like it'll be going that long. Another 15 minutes is a bit of a stretch. At least before the game is effectively decided.
Yeah, this is a you just see the overall great communication coming out of the side Dem Boys, knowing where to rotate and who to pick off, and understanding their damage numbers as well. And you do see the engage coming in from Zyra, the Kai'Sa, and just taking out the Caitlyn once more. There's not much Caitlyn can do there. There isn't really a way out, and it feels bad for her, but there's really, when you get that Zyra E onto you, and you get that ultimate onto you, and you try and flash away and trying to net away, it doesn't stop the Kai'Sa from ulting to you as well.
Yeah, so you just have to make sure you don't get hit by the first CC at all there if you want to live. And maybe some support from the Brand just eating up the AoE damage on the Kai'Sa Q. But that's it. It's really just very difficult to do anything at that point, especially if the Zyra's willing to blow the flash on you as the Caitlyn there.
Mm-hmm. And so we do see a little bit of a lane advantage, gold advantage on the side of Dem Boys. What would we see more from a snowball effect on their side? And then what do we need to see on the side of SEAL Team 6 as a counter to this?
Yeah, of course. At this point, the Renekton is just going to run away with the game. Morgana not doing too shabby herself, but not too much of a carry champion normally. Very reliant on hitting hard-to-hit skill shots to do her damage most of the time. But even with that said, one Morgana Q is going to pretty much kill anyone on the side of SEAL Team 6, except for maybe the Nunu at this point. And the Renekton's just going to be demolishing these side lanes. So it's, I don't know, from the side of SEAL Team 6, they just need to scale with the Kai'Sa and the Zyra. Gotta get their items up. Kai'Sa at 3 items is going to be able to contest this team comp really, really well.
See what's going to happen here. The Jace is going to be really low, does engage onto the Renekton. Zac's going to be ulting up as well. The Zyra ulti's going down as well. Nunu's in danger. Nunu just fall to the Brand here. And that's going to be a 2 for 1 exchange on the side, or the side of Team 2.
Actually, for SEAL Team 6 there. The Kai'Sa got a 1k shutdown onto the Renekton there. And that's, like, I'll take that for my, at the currently 0-3, 0-4 mid jungle. Like, 100%, I'm like, all right, get me more kills on this Kai'Sa. This Kai'Sa's the one who's carrying me the game. And they need to get their items before Renekton just gets 6 items and one-shots her. At this point, we really are looking for that 3-item power spike. The 2 items on the Zyra as well, with Leandri's and Rylai's coming out, will be what we're looking for SEAL Team 6 to have a chance at winning team fights. Until then, it's just going to be on Dem Boys to either make mistakes to give them team fights, or the mismatched numbers. You got to find like a 5 versus 4 or a 5 versus 3 to be able to convincingly take a team fight, and the one person missing almost certainly has to be Renekton at this point in time.
Yeah, it's been a pretty great fight. You see the Renekton bot lane gonna try and get some extra gold for his team, continue the snowball effect, and then you see Nunu actually posturing towards that Shelly here. Having that Shelly might be a interesting just counter to like Dem Boys going for Dragon here. So I'm not sure what we might see out of this. They might go for the Dragon and then into the Shelly, or they might try and go for Shelly into the Dragon here. Either way, one of these teams needs to find a pick in order to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. And right now you're just waiting to see if you can land a Morgana bind or a brand combo, or just a random Zac engage if you're gifted the opportunity. But with the fact that they're getting vision control Dem Boys around this dragon, they should be in a favorable position to take it. We do see Set rotating down, which is going to give them the 5 versus 5, but even then, I don't know if they can really do enough damage without Zyra going beast mode.
She does get... they got a double knockup from the Zyra ulti, and it gets the double stun off with her E as well. They're going to go onto the Zac there. They do pick off the Zac. That's going to be pretty big for the side of CEAL Team 6, and now they're going to be looking into this dragon here. And Kai'Sa got another shutdown from the Morgana. Another 300 gold going to Kai'Sa. She's going to be the thing that we're going to need to watch this game. Because if you let her scale and you let her get too far away, she's going to take away all the members of Dem Bros. And we're going to see another another great engage coming from the side of the flank with the Renekton with the Caitlyn there, and there we go, folks. The Renekton has joined the fight, picking up a double kill. Caitlyn getting a kill herself as well, and they're going to be focusing down on the mid lane here.
Yeah, that's what you should expect out of these team fights. A great flank coming in from the Renekton there. Didn't even have to blow TP for it. And just the 3 versus 5 coming out of Dem Boys there with the Renekton, the Caitlyn doing all right for herself in the fight, and the brand outputting absurd amount of damage to just open it up and get some free kills at the start of that. Set almost going down there too with a nice combo out of the Caitlyn with her traps. And it's just like, that is what team fights should look like. You got a really clutch break, essentially, as CEAL Team 6 to start that off with the Zac E being interrupted by the Zyra ulti. Stranglethorns popping him up while he's coming in, alongside the Morgana, getting all of your AoE onto both of them without the rest of the team, without the rest of Dem Boys being nearby, just gives you the opportunity to take this dragon. But that's nowhere near enough to actually win a team fight. Even as you saw there, 3 versus 5 after taking the dragon, they get murked essentially because the Renekton comes in on the flank and the Brandon Caitlyn damage is too good and chokes.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see they're gonna be looking for more here. The Shelly did fall. No one picked up the second Shelly here. Kai'Sa is gonna be in danger with the Zac and the Renekton, but they're going to immediately engage onto the Zac with the Zyra being there. Easy pick for the side of CEAL Team 6 here. Great pickup and great knowledge seeing where that Zac is and following him for this game as well. Where we do see another possible engage onto the set on the side of Dem Boys. And Nunu's going to be coming in as well, getting a huge ulti off with his snowball. The set's going to be engaging onto the brand, onto the Caitlyn there, and he's going to be falling down to the brand. Flames, there is Caitlyn. She goes down. Here comes Morgana, though, and pick up a double kill on the side of Dem Boys. There's Jace. I think he's just going to try and look to see if he can pick off the brand, but it's going to be really difficult with the Morgana in the way.
Yeah, and at this point, it's, as we've discussed before, you see the 2v2 there, a nice flank coming out, knocking up the 2 squishiest members of the side of Dem Boys into the full set engage, and it's just not enough to pick up the kills without dying in return. You really see how far behind the set is there, how far behind this Nunu is as well, currently sitting at 1 and 6. Just really not at a point where they can actually contest them in fights. And you really have to wait for this Kai'Sa, have to let her scale. Currently on her Manamune, she's at 698, just almost transformed there. She has a Rage Blade, almost done actually working on her third item now, on the Nashor's too.
We do see the Renekton actually getting a 4-man engage onto him. He has tried to flash away here. The set does bork him to slow him down. The Kaisa going in with her ulti, but immediately gets turned back on by the Renekton, and they're going to shut down that Kaisa there. Set going in, taking out the Renekton. And I believe he got some... Was that shut down? Yes, that was shut down.
Big
700
1K
gold.
shutdown for the set, which is really nice.
Yeah, we're going to see more fighting a little bit here. I'm not sure if they're going to be... They do have Dragon coming up in a minute, so you're going to see a lot of wards and just counter wards on the side of them boys. And
honestly, I just want to give this to them boys for free if I'm on CEAL Team 6. It's such a hard objective to contest if the Zac is out of vision, and just him being able to get essentially a free engage off on you, Brand and Caitlyn and Morgana all stalling you in the choke, and Renekton can do anything in these fights. So long as he gets on top of someone, he's going to kill them immediately and be nearly unkillable himself. It's a really difficult fight to take for the side of CEAL Team 6, and I'd be happy just giving over the second dragon only to the side of Dem Boys here and just scaling up a little bit more. Letting your set get back into the game and letting your Kaisa complete her 3-item power spike. Maybe even getting a Zonya's before the next dragon spawns if you get a little bit of extra gold injected somewhere.
Now we're going to see another fight posturing towards the dragon here, but with that being said, them boys are in a strong position. They might just say, yeah, take the dragon. We don't care. It might grab the Baron instead. They do have a pink ward on it, knowing that there's no vision over there. It should be interesting what we're going to see in this next team fight.
Yeah, on the contrary here, if you're Dem Boys, you don't want to give over the dragon to CEAL Team 6 because that puts them on soul point. That'll give them a really easy way to win late game team fights if they're able to secure the soul point.
Down goes the dragon here, and then this should lead right over to a...
You see the clump of 5 seals there, and you're just thinking to yourself, what happens if Brand presses R? What happens if Renekton has a TP flank on that, right? And it's just, this is really just, even though nothing bad ended up happening there, they lost a bunch of free farming time to make that contest, and now it looks like they may even give over the Baron for free just because they're out of position. And
you see that Renekton just like making sure that they don't back, make sure that they don't leave. He can really take a 1v3 pretty well here, actually. They're going to re-engage onto him. Zyra ulti going down, but he's going to be not dicing away, just slicing away there. They do pick up Baron, and that's going to be a huge win on... Wait a second, I'm watching the crocodile. Okay, no, he's not gonna go back in.
Kaisa would have to make some very weird movements to be in range of that slice.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if something would happen. But good win on the side of Dem Boys, picking up the Baron there, and good positioning and communication from this team. And I'm super excited to see what they're gonna really transition to. You do see a step-by-step program from the side of Dem Boys, kind of just going, okay, we're going to start laning phase. We might win a couple, we might lose a couple. If we're going to lose, just try and keep that jungler around them, keep them safe. If we're going to win, keep that snowball effect going down. And then just the slow progression throughout the game where they get major objectives after major objective and look for nice picks, look for nice team fights. And then now you see them slowly posturing towards the inhibitor. The Caitlyn does go down. Zyra get a nice pick onto her as well. The Morgana is going to be Zonya's. She does take out the Nunu. The set goes down as well. And this is going to be a nice cleanup on the side of CEAL Team 6 here. The Zac blob goes down. Nice Q from downtown for Morgana here. Kaisa's going into the backline. She's doing Kaisa things. There's one. Is there going to be two? Oh, baby, there is. And then you see Zyra just going to be poking down the Zac there. They didn't kill all of the blobs, but Kaisa wants blood again. There's a W. Triple kill for Kaisa. Amazing
this is what you have
job.
to be afraid of. Even though you're taking some damage on this inhib, you should not be able to kill it. The Kais is going to come up from base. She is recalling right now. I guess you will just pick up the inhib here. But that is not the trade you want to be making up 9k gold with the Baron buff. Giving this Kaisa the triple kill. She's got her core items completed, currently sitting on 1100 gold. Gonna go back, probably be looking to pick up the Zhonya's here so that you're just immune to, like, you resist so much Renekton damage with just the armor off of that item, and I'd really like to see it come out for that reason. Nunu does secure the blue buff there, but Renekton doesn't care.
I think Renekton might just do a buff transfer. But you do see Kai'Sa ulting in onto the Renekton. There are 4 members of SEAL Team 6 here. There is a flash from Set, not quite landing his E. The Renekton does have to escape. Morgana is actually TPing down bot lane, might look for a flank here, but the Renekton is in a lot of danger. All of them want blood. They're chasing him down pretty hard. Are they going to be able to get the pick here? Nope, the Renekton is going to get out.
Yeah,
but very dangerous call on the side of Renekton. He's the only one with Baron buff right now, but like, it's hard to be in the enemy jungle when all of your teammates are at base.
That's not gonna work, Nunu. All right, so we see. They tried to let the teleport complete so that they could kill the Set there. Unfortunately, minions did not like their strategy, kill the turret. Still a win for them, wasted teleport on the side of SEAL Team 6. More fighting with the Renekton, though.
Yeah, we're going to see something go down here. We're going to go on to the Renektons. We're all going to be collapsing onto him. Does get the Haymaker down and pushing it closer to the backline. You do see Zac coming into the backline as well. Keying in onto Zyra. They do take out Zyra here, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. But I think SEAL Team 6 actually got a nice pick on the Renekton. He's kind of like the raid boss right now, but he is slowly falling off here. Kai'Sa's still alive. That's going to be huge for this next fight, and Baron's going to be coming up. Whichever team gets it is going to have soul point. On the side of Dem Bros, though, they did get that inhibitor, and they're going to be pushing down mid lane with that bot lane as well. So they might pick up a second inhibitor here. We're going to see potentially another fight go down.
Yeah, turret's going to go down, but I don't think they have the pressure without the Renekton or his TP to actually take this. We see Nunu engaging.
Okay, engage again there. They do hit the brand. The Nunu is falling down to the Morgana pool. The Morgana comes back out of her Zhonya's. Down goes Caitlyn to the Kai'Sa. And then there's going to be Kai'Sa going on to the Zac there, getting a double kill, going on to the Morgana. Nice ulti in and getting a beautiful triple kill. She is in the pool, though. She's in danger. No, she's not.
If that's not danger, I don't know what is.
That's a thin line of ice right there, Kai'Sa. Very thin, but respectable. I like it. She does get the triple kill, having double buffs, and the dragon coming up here. Huge win on the side of SEAL Team 6 here. Very close game. It is still leaning towards the side of Dem Bros, but you're seeing like the slow pickoffs and slow picks that SEAL Team 6 can really take advantage of, and you're going to see this progress over to probably a soul point here.
Yeah, and I really think they should go over to the side of SEAL Team 6 here, putting them on soul point, which is really nice. More importantly than them having soul point, it puts Dem Boys away from soul point. And I mean, they're doing it. They've reached the power spike. The Kai'Sa's now 5 items, did not pick up the Zhonya's, instead opted for the Mercurial Scimitar, dodging out on some of the CC coming in from the Brand and the Morgana. Also a good option. You saw it in that fight, the QSS coming in big, be able to dodge out on the first CC effect that she got hit with, which I believe was actually a Morgana bind, which would have been her death instantly, had it not been for the QSS.
Yeah,
now,
you've been watching
at the very least, I'd like to see
right?
the Zhonya's come out. I don't know if we will. It'll be interesting to see if that works out. Currently sitting on 800 gold. Should be able to pick up the stopwatch, which is going to be extremely important for obvious reasons going into these late game team fights. Do see the Baron being started up from the side of Dem Boys, though, with a good posture from the Renekton on the bot lane, applying pressure to the map. I don't know if they're going to catch this in time.
Yeah, I don't think they can really stop Dem Boys, from picking up this Baron. They're going to be a re-engage from Kai'Sa. She is almost going to pick someone off, but then you see Renekton just in the base here, looking for a potential end game situation. He's going to slice and dice away.
Exactly, the Set can't hurt him. Set has not
so he is going to be ulting in. They are going to be chunking down the raid boss. Haymaker going out to the back lines of the team there. You do see all the members of SEAL Team 6 going on to stopwatch there, going on to the Renekton. He does fall to SEAL Team 6. But
it only took 5 ultis It only took 5 ultis and a Nexus turret and a half to bring down the raid boss, but
You
he
know,
can't fight Kai'Sa. Honestly, I don't think he can fight Kai'Sa 1v1 right now. And that's the biggest issue. So long as Kai'Sa doesn't get exploded just in actually one hit by him, which should be hard, seeing as it looks like she's building into the Zhonya's with the Fiendish Codex coming out. That or a Banshees, and um, either way, it's good for her, really. See, the Zyra
There's
actually
an
getting chunked
engage.
out, but the
Oh.
Nunu snowball interrupts the Zac E,
Yeah.
and that's just...
I didn't think that could happen. That's interesting there. And now you do see Set actually getting caught as well. He is going to try and flash away there. You do see the Caitlyn ulti going down, not able to take out the Set. They're going to be a huge re-engage onto the Set as well. Just going to be seeing another fall from the side of SEAL Team 6. There goes the Kai'Sa, which is their major damage dealer there. And then this is going to be a quick cleanup for the side of Dem Boys. Possibly just end game. There is the Brand ultimate getting nice damage down onto them as well. Double kill Brand, possibly a triple kill here. There it goes. Down goes Set, and that's going to be a good win for the side of Dem Bros. Very clean there. You did see a little bit of a fall off, but you know what? They changed up their game plan, and they came out hot at the end there, and just like I said, stick to a game plan. A little bit off scale for a second there, but they made the quick adjustment and able to steer the wheel to the right direction there. Good win, fun game, and Hunter, gonna throw it to you for your thoughts of this game, and then MVP and Ace as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, we saw at the end there, the Kai'Sa gets caught out at the end by the Dark Binding, by the Brand slow from the Rylai's. No, actually, no Rylai's on the Brand. Just caught out, essentially, just by, maybe it was Chilling Smite from the Zac there that ended up slowing her down, and just gets instantly exploded by the skill shots, by the CC, and by the nuke damage coming out of the side of Dem Boys. And once the Kai'Sa's dead, the game's over. Like, she is the only member of your team who is outputting any reasonable amount of damage other than the Zyra. And the Zyra opted for a Zhonya's Hourglass over the Rylai's second item, which has advantages and has disadvantages. I would have rather seen the Rylai's this game, just because you should know after seeing the early game that your only win con is the two of you and the Kai'Sa hard carrying. But we see the Zhonya's come out early for her, late for the Kai'Sa, and I think that's really the story of that last team fight there. The Zyra not able to put out damage, getting caught by the Morgana Binding as well. Forced to use the Zhonya's, did save her in that sense. But the Kai'Sa not having a stopwatch there meant that she did instantly die, didn't get to use her QSS for anything profitable, maybe not even her ulti. And the side of Dem Boys just really walking it in with their massive early game advantage and finishing the game out. As far as MVP and Ace go, I think this is pretty cut and dry. MVP goes to the Renekton in the top lane, making really big plays, getting a massive advantage for his team in the early game. And Ace goes to the Kai'Sa, who was about 85% of her team. I'm gonna be honest, there were a bunch of meat walls. I think Jace existed, and this really isn't so much a fault of the player as it is just Jace in the late game. Just, they're a champion, I guess. When they fall behind, they don't do anything. The Set and the Nunu were just tanks, and the Zyra did their best. Great, honestly, great play coming out of the Zyra. Lots of great roots, but not able to output enough damage to Hearth's solo carry as a support this game.
Very well said here. And when we come back, folks, we're going to go into Game 2 of Dem Boys versus SEAL Team 6. And welcome back, folks. We're going into game two between SEAL Team 6 and Dem Boys here. I'm excited to see what we're going to see coming out of the side of Dem Boys. They played a really great game last game, and my prediction is that we're going to see possibly a just a top lane dominant just team from them. It should be interesting what they're going to pick for next game. Hunter, what are your thoughts, predictions, and takeaways from last game here?
Yeah, absolutely. Coming out of last game, we really did see the top snowball from Dem Boys, from the Renekton in the top side of the map, just really giving them the advantage they need to snowball that game. Morgana as well in the mid lane got out to a nice early advantage thanks to some skirmishes and some great ganks coming out of the Zac in the jungle, and just really complete top side of the map dominance coming out of them. I expect to see more of the same. That's sort of been the case for a lot of the SEAL Team 6 games I've seen in the past. They tend to play weak side on the top side of the map, while letting their support and AD carry really get a lot of the advantages and win the games in the end. Dem Boys looked like they had that read. They had a really great way to punish that in the last game. Almost let it fade away, almost let the Kai'Sa get too far ahead. But it is only one champion, and they were able to shut her down in the end. So we'll see what happens in this pick ban.
Yes, very interesting. And without further ado, let's quickly jump into quick ban and see what we got to that we're gonna see this game here.
Absolutely. As we move into this pick ban here, we do see in the bans actually, Dem Boys really trying their best to keep Caitlyn away from Deft on the side of SEAL Team 6 in that AD carry position. We saw the first pick from it last game, and then the ban for it this game really just showing a lot of priority on keeping that away. I also believe they're a Xayah main and keeping that away from them as well. As far as picks go, and we also see the Renekton ban, notably from SEAL Team 6, to prevent the top lane disaster from last game. As far as picks go, we see the Olaf coming out early, just early power jungler, no more Nunu coming out of SEAL Team 6. They want to be able to contest early crabs, contest early fights, and do what they need to do to get an early advantage and secure the early game for their team, which is really important after we look at what the rest of their lineup looks like. As far as Dem Boys is concerned, first picking that Vayne Lulu, just throwing the gauntlet down, saying we are going to win bot lane this game, and we're going to win through bot lane. Alongside the Jarvan, Malzahar, and Wukong eventually coming out later with just a strong, stable top lane jungle combo, and the Malzahar in the mid lane just able to contest and push permanently. As far as SEAL Team 6, though, we do see the Kai'Sa coming out again alongside the Nautilus support. Just a lot of power in that lane, a lot of kill potential with Nautilus stacking up the Kai'Sa procs really, really quickly and efficiently. And the Morgana mid lane coming out this time as well. This time on the side of SEAL Team 6. Wants to get that wave clear, wants to be able to protect the AD carry with the Black Shield, and a Tryndamere coming out in the top lane for SEAL Team 6 as well, matching into this Wukong, and that'll be an interesting lane. Again, I've talked about Tryndamere lanes on this cast before, and I feel like most of the time they try and kill you with luck, RNG, early game, and then if they can't do that, the lane seems pretty just scale oriented. If you can't get the early cheese kill in, you're just going to want to sit back and scale, and that's really Olaf's going to have to help facilitate that in the early game for all of his lanes.
Yeah, very well said there. Definitely the lanes to watch this game is going to be that bot lane. Really want to see what they're going to be pulling out, and really excited to see how they're going to be performing this game as well.
Absolutely.
And without further ado, folks, let's jump right on into game and see what we got for runes masteries and potentially what we're going to be seeing for lane matchups.
We get into game here, we do see the aforementioned lane matchups with Tryndamere versus Wukong in the top lane. Tryndamere running the lethal tempo and Wukong on the Conqueror. In the jungle, we have a Conqueror mirror match between the Jarvan and the Olaf. In the mid lane, Morgana with Comet versus Airy Malzahar. And in the bot lane, just normal runes, just like all of these other lanes.
30
Press the attack
seconds until
Kai'Sa, press
minions
the attack
spawn.
Vayne, Airy Lulu, and
Ooh, they do
GG.
get a pick onto Vayne here. She immediately has to flash away there. The E over the wall from the Tryndamere. I don't think they're going to be able to get the pick there, but that was really close. Really
Yeah, and
close on.
that's a big advantage, honestly, coming out of the side of SEAL Team 6 early there. Getting the flash blown on the Vayne with a Nautilus lane and an Olaf jungle is so brutal for this Vayne. It's going to
Minions
be
have spawned.
really, she's going to have to, it looked like she took Tumble level 1 there, and she did, and she's probably going to have to take Condemn level 2, completely shutting off all of her trading potential until at least level 3. And even then, it's still going to be super difficult. She can never lose control of the wave, because if it ever pushes into SEAL Team 6, they can set up just free chain ganks on her. Also, notably, no heal coming out in this bot lane just really reduces their ability to survive the all-in from this Nautilus Kai'Sa lane. And while I'm a fan of AD carries taking exhaust, I really think you want to go full defensive in this lane and forego the ignite on the Lulu here. But I've eaten my words in the past, and I'm looking forward to doing it again here, as there's probably going to be a lot of crazy kills going on in this bot side. The mid lane is just going to be a farm fiesta.
Ooh.
Well, we do
Here's
see...
that level 2 gank from coming up from the Jarvan after taking the blue buff, immediately going up to top lane and trying to trade onto the Tryndamere. And you see both junglers actually cutting the map horizontally this time.
Yeah, and we do see the vertical jungling coming out of both sides. But bot lane is in a bad position for the side of Dem Bois, and you really have to fear this Olaf just walking around behind you after picking up this Gromp. He's gonna hit level 3, I'm pretty sure, off of this camp, and then he can just walk into your lane and kill you, and what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, you're very right on that point there. He does pick up the Grump from the Jarvan, so he is going to be a camp ahead of the Jarvan as well. And you see him exactly what you were saying before, coming down bot lane, and this is going to be a nice pickup on the side of SEAL Team 6. They do pick up onto the Lulu there, getting the Ignite down onto her first blood, going over to Olaf right before the Scuttle's about to spawn too as well, so Scuttle control is going to go into the favor of Olaf here for bot side.
Yeah, and that's just what we're talking about. If you lose control of the wave in this Vayne Lulu lane, you are going to die repeatedly. This Olaf should know that. It's vertical jungling, which is the worst case scenario for this too. It only exacerbates the issue. Jarvan coming onto the bot side now, looking to bring something back, but what's he going to be able to do? He's not able to connect with the flag and drag onto the Kai'Sa, and due to that, just so much wasted time by Jarvan walking all the way from top side to bot lane, going for the gank. It's going to fail. He will pick up the Scuttle Crab, but that's only a consolation prize here. Olaf has already started rolling. We do see good trading coming out bot lane, but that's about all you're going to get out of it. Though Jarvan is looking at the gank in the mid lane right now.
Yeah, he's going to go for another EQ combo there. And Morgana's just going to Black Shield and walk away. It feels bad to be Jarvan. Feels bad to be Jarvan. He's trying his best. He's doing what he needs to do. He's been ganking every lane there, but just not able to connect.
Yeah, and just good reaction speed coming out in the mid lane there. Good Black Shield, preventing the all-in there. And it's, yeah, as you said, just it's going to be a feels bad game for Jarvan at this point. Failing 3 ganks consecutively now, and still falling behind on the Olaf, who has executed a successful gank. It's going to be hard for him at this point. Does not even pick up the topside Scuttle Crab, gets a mediocre back off as well, only picking up his jungle item, whereas I believe this Olaf's going to have something much more impressive after he either backs or ganks this top side of the map.
Ooh, nice Q coming out from the Nautilus there. Just dodging the minion and picking up on Vayne, that's going to be a beautiful trade on the side of SEAL Team 6 here.
Yeah, lots of damage coming out onto the Vayne, chunking her down low. No pots in inventory means this is a reset for the bot side of the map on Dem Bois. And continued dominance coming out of this bot lane, as we see. Will not connect, and they will cancel both of their backs there, and that's just... They're either going to lose many waves to turret here, or they are just going to have to stick in this lane, and neither of those are really viable options for this bot lane. I expect to see a big CS advantage developed for Deft in the bot lane on this Kai'Sa, and just really playing to the strengths of SEAL Team 6 from what I've seen thus far.
Now, I wanted to touch note on the top lane here really quick, actually. You do see the Tryndamere running the TP, showing that he wasn't really looking for that, like, the high duel, the extravaganza that we're used to seeing there. Feels bad, Jarvan.
Feels
Um,
that's number
feels
4.
bad.
Oh for 4, boys.
That feels bad. And
It's
so
a
he,
feels
he,
bad.
he basically told Wukong in this lane, he's like, we're just gonna scale. I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm gonna scale, and then once we reach late game, then I'm gonna kill you. And Wukong perfectly fine with that because he does scale relatively well as well. Not really as hard as the Tryndamere late game, but he also took TP as well. But you notice that he didn't use it the first time backing, so he has it for potentially a dragon or a bot lane gank here.
Yeah, one of the notable things about playing the Tryndamere in this game, though, is going to be the fact that he will have to pick up a QSS to be able to function in team fights properly. Between Polymorph on Lulu and the Malzahar ulti, it's just going to be so difficult for him to function in these team fights without some sort of CC removal effects coming in, and there's no Enchantress support coming out on the side of SEAL Team 6, so there's not going to be the free Mikhails to save his butt in that instance, unless Morgana gets really creative. Speaking of Morgana and this mid lane, we do see the Malzahar coming out to quite a nice CS advantage, going to be able to pick up this plate in the mid lane here, and just Morgana has a bit of an issue farming early game because her W hasn't quite gone all the ranks it needs to one-shot ranged minions, and it just puts them at really awkward HP totals for your auto attacks last hit normally. So we do see that CS advantage coming out, well played by the Malzahar, doing what he needs to do, and continuing the Malzahar this game.
Yeah. It's you do see I'm watching the lane matchups here, and you're seeing like just the general great lane presence that Demboy brings to the table. Being able to CS, to farm, to play safe, and knowing that they got a little unlucky Jarvan ganks there, they're just gonna keep steadily growing with their CS advantage, coming up top with like almost a 20 CS lead. Bot lane a little bit behind, but then mid lane another CS lead there, and then Jarvan just going back to his farming roots and coming out again pretty largely against the Olaf. We're gonna see an engage going down on top lane there. Wukong going to be flashing away and ulting as well, and I think that's just gonna be the end of that. I don't think they're gonna try for a turret dive here, and I wouldn't recommend a turret dive here, but they might go for it knowing that the Wukong doesn't have flash and doesn't have an ultimate as well.
This is a mistake if they go for it. I don't think they will. Olaf just posturing into the jungle here, looking to counter jungle these Krugs from the Jarvan. We do see bot lane has actually stabilized a little bit as Kai'Sa's picked up a tier that sort of negates any of the gold advantage she had, and then some.
Here goes the engage onto the Wukong. There's the Jarvan. He does get the kill onto the Olaf there. Tryndamere is underneath the tower. He is popping ulti. He's going on to Wukong. Is it going to be enough to get another crit? He just needs one crit. He does get the E and does kill the Wukong. Now we look down bot lane here. We're going to see an engage. The exhaust going down onto the Kai'Sa. Big damage onto the Vayne here. Kai'Sa falling down to the Vayne with the third proc here of the Silver Bolts. They're going to be moving on to the Nautilus. Is it going to be enough? They do have another tumble, and they do get a double kill, coming out huge on the side of Dem Boys.
Yeah, and some incredible circumstance coming out in that bot lane too. The Vayne Condemn, as the Kai'Sa ulti, shoves her into the wall as the ulti completes, immediately stunning her and removing her ability to outplay that ability and outplay that fight. Comes up huge, shuts her down before she gets a chance to act again. Double kill coming out on the side of the Vayne here. And that's just not good for the side of SEAL Team 6 now. All of the advantage that Kai'Sa had built up in that early game, thanks to the nice Olaf gank and the good plays from her support, is just thrown away now. The Vayne's going to be able to really just threaten so much. Vayne spiking at Blade of the Ruined King, rather, is so much more powerful and scales so much better into the mid game than Kai'Sa's build, that she's just going to be so far behind. She didn't even get to complete the Muramana on that back there, as you see, still the pickaxe and tier in inventory. Can't even start utilizing that mana for gold efficiency at this point. And just with that, it's brutal in the bot lane now. We see in the top side too, the Wukong maintaining this 20 CS advantage while building towards his Bork, picking up some armor there as well. Mid lane's still pretty chill, but we see
she
them
might pick up a kill here.
engage.
She is getting the ulti off. She does get the last couple auto attacks down onto the Malzahar. Does get a solo kill mid lane here. She might be roaming up towards top side, but they're gonna have to clear out all of those wards that they have on the side of Dem Bros to even think about ganking topside.
Yeah, it's just really... I don't think the Morgana can make much happen in another lane without her ulti. Of course, Morgana Q is really nice, but it's not being maxed in this lane. See another engage coming in bot lane, though, looking for the shutdown on the Vayne.
He does get the Lulu. They are going to be going onto the Vayne. The Lulu did ulti the Vayne here. She's going to be pretty healthy. Nice damage coming out for her. Good trading, but I think the side of SEAL Team 6 came out large in that fight there. Going to be picking up another dragon potentially here as well. Olaf really good at those early dragons. And it really shows this game that you see the SEAL Team 6 looking for more objective-based gameplay than...
and just utilizing the Olaf in the way that we talked about when we discussed draft, being able to get this river control, the scuttle control, these gank control, 2 kills coming now down into this bot lane. But one thing that really worries me for SEAL Team 6 there is we saw the Vayne there, and her spacing was so impeccable in that gank with her kiting with her ulti that I'm really worried. It looks like Styx on this Vayne knows what they're doing and is really going to be a nuisance in the late game if you let them get there.
Here comes the Shelly. They're going to be going in for a turret dive. There's a pocket watch going down onto the Jarvan. They're going to try and take out the turret, but then down goes Jarvan. Kai'Sa taking her out. We do see a skirmish top side as well. Going back bot lane, you do see the Lulu following, almost falling to that. Vayne does fall as well. You're going to be looking back top side here. Going to be a little bit more skirmishes. Tryndamere falling very low here. I'm pretty sure he has ulti though, so he's going to be pretty safe for any Wukong tomfoolery, if you will.
Yeah, and just ill-advised gank coming in down in the bot lane from the Jarvan, overreaching a little bit. Really cost his team there. They got the plates, which was really nice, but you can just be okay with that. You put it down, the bot lane turret down to about 150 HP. You're going to be able to kill that next time you reach it. But now instead you've given over 2 kills, a bunch of plates back over to the Kai'Sa, and bot lane just keeps swinging back and forth every chance they get.
And it equalized the gold too as well. They had a 2K gold lead when they were 3-2, but now that it's 6-3, it's almost equalized, and you're gonna see another engage happening bot side, doubling down, trying to take them out. They get the Vayne engaged, but the Olaf is there. Down goes Vayne. They're going to be looking on to the Lulu, getting a nice Nautilus Q onto her as well, stunning her up. She's not going to live from the Olaf. Double kill going down to the Olaf here.
Yeah, just great play coming out of the Olaf here. Jarvan not there in time to get the counter gank off. Vayne forced to tumble forward, look for the kill onto the Kai'Sa, but not quite able to pick it up. And before that, I was going to say, now if we look bot lane, the 80 carries have identical gold, but that's not going to be true after this fight. Kai'Sa picking up more kills. Kai'Sa now with a 300 gold advantage. Pretty inconsequential in this. We actually don't see her going for the Manamune either. We see her just straight upping the Jinsu's Rage Blade. And the Vayne as well, just making me eat my words about power spike timings. Very strange decisions coming out of both of these 80 carries with their build pass. Foregoing their conventional first item in favor of a first item Rage Blade that I don't feel does anything. On the top side of the map, however, we do see still that now 25 CS advantage for the Wukong, but he is getting outscaled by the Tryndamere in the long run, so it shouldn't amount to too much.
Yeah, eventually that Tryndamere is just going to go in for an all-in engage and then try and kill the Wukong before he can get that mid-game power spike. You do see the flash going down onto the Tryndamere here. Jarvan is posturing for a potential turret dive. Tryndamere is in danger. Down goes Jarvan. Flash ulti in. He's going to E out of the Jarvan ulti and walk away from that.
Now, I think something that's important to note, Jarvan does have an assist, meaning he did technically get a successful gank off thus far this game.
Woo!
I think it's something like 1 for 12. I don't want to pick on a guy, but it is quite comical. We do see Vayne getting picked by the Nautilus, though.
Yeah, here comes the Nautilus. There goes the Kai'Sa, getting the ulti off onto the Vayne. And then you see Kai'Sa getting it as well. TP coming down from the Malzahar. We're going to see the Nautilus potentially go down just to the Malzahar, just overall, just kind of Malzahar things. His overall damage is pretty nice.
No.
Oh.
I was really worried about her walking back in. Don't you do it, Kai'Sa.
You have so much to live for.
Yeah, alright. So, more kills, though, coming out onto this Olaf, onto this Kai'Sa. Malzahar forced to blow TP there just to trade 1 for 1 with the support at the end of that fight. Not a good look for the side of Bois there. And despite the top lane advantages continuing to mount, it's not as anywhere near as detrimental as it was last game. At this point last game, the Renekton was 4-0-1 with a 65 or 70 CS advantage. And this Wukong's just matching the Tryndamere in kills with a 30 CS advantage. The Tryndamere is going to outscale, at the very least, in the macro sense. In team fights, it's a pretty close guess. It depends on how the flanks work out. But you got to be worried if you're the side of Bois here. You don't have the advantage you want. The Vayne's advantage has withered away thanks to consistent ganks coming down bot lane from this Olaf. And now this is third dragon going over to the side of CEAL Team 6, it looks like. Putting them on Soul Point, Mount Soul at that.
They do try and get the steal off with the Jarvan, but unable to as well. They are going to be on to the Tryndamere. He is going to be ulting away. Here comes a Morgana. Nice ulti onto 3 members of Bois. Sorry. And you see Vayne is going to be falling short here. Nautilus queuing in. And double kill going to Morgana. And the final kill going over to Kai'Sa. That's going to be huge for CEAL Team 6.
Yeah, and we see again in the end of the fight, their beautiful kiting coming out of the Vayne, but it doesn't matter. Her team's already dead. They're too far behind to make an impact. And it's like, what are you supposed to do as her there? You're trying to fight into the Kai'Sa, who's 4-1 now, after that kill. And you just don't have the stats to win it, no matter how well you play at this point.
It's going to take a huge team fight to change the course of this game.
You know what's really impressive, though, is that the gold total is even despite being down 3 dragons and 9 kills, and that's really just thanks to these turrets and the turret plates that have gone down on the side of Bois. But now the Tryndamere getting another kill in that fight. Actually, Wukong still 2,000 gold ahead of the Tryndamere somehow. And that's actually what I want to start looking at here is, I know we can't see it on stream, but we do see in the top lane there's a 2k gold advantage. In the bottom lane there's a 300 gold advantage for the Vayne. And then in the mid lane, the Morgana coming up with a nearly 2k advantage herself. And the jungle, there's quite a handsome advantage for the Olaf. We do see the top lane Wukong TP coming in onto the Jarvan standard there, just trying to keep his team safe. Nothing will come of the play, just a Nautilus ulti traded for the teleport, a win overall for the side of CEAL Team 6. We see a lot more just wave pushing, NA ramming, posturing around objectives. Someone's going to have to go catch that top lane wave, and just really farming up more.
Shelly fight.
We got 10 seconds to kill it, and I don't think that's going to happen. I feel like the Shelly will go to no one in the end. But...
he steals it! He steals it! Can he pick it up? I don't think he's going to be able to pick it up.
Shelly went to no one in the end.
There goes Jarvan. He's going to get a nice ulti onto 2 people. Kai'Sa is kind of stuck awkwardly into this wall here. Does take out the Jarvan. The Wukong going to be going in, going to be ulting. And now we're going to be watching the Morgana fall to that as well. Shut down, going over to Vayne. That's going to be really nice for her as well. We do see Tryndamere bot lane trying to get some extra money, but they're going to be pushing down the mid lane here. And someone has to respond. This Nautilus can't stop them. This Nautilus can't stop 4 people. They're going to keep going for this inhibitor. Tryndamere, you're going to have to leave.
Yeah, I really want to see the turret go down, but I don't want to see them take the inhib. They might end up doing it just out of convenience, but if this inhib goes down, that's going to be a lot of free farm going into this Kai'Sa, and she will be able to join fights that are near her base with her ulti very effectively. One nice thing, however, that this inhib going down does do is it gives them so much dragon control coming into this sole point in the next minute and a half that they're gonna actually be able to reasonably contest it. But bot lane, we do see the
He's going in for a turret dive there. He's going to be ulting in and outie under this, but they do have the flank potential. Lulu, Wukong, and Vayne, Malzahar also there. That man is very low. Can we get the Mission Impossible theme song to go? Oh no, he sees a Vayne. Dun, 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 dun. He escapes.
And that's just Vayne getting ganked by the Tryndamere a little bit. They're like, whoa, what's this guy doing here? Why is there a 300 HP, no ulti Tryndamere next to me?
I like it.
Tryndamere blow the flash and the ulti though, and I think the ulti will be back up in time for this dragon, but the flash certainly will not be, and Vayne actually showing a lot of great control there, not flashing for the kill before the dragon fight too. So long as...
The Shelly was dropped.
No one picked up Shelly.
The Shelly was just dropped.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Nautilus may have picked up Shelly. Which I was actually thinking about, like, hey, you should have picked up Shelly while we were waiting. But we see the engage coming in. Kai'Sa getting low.
Very low, but is going to be able to escape. No, she is not. There is the Wukong going in with a nice E into the W over, getting that gap closer down. You're going to see another engage going down onto the Olaf. Wait a minute. He's not dead. Oh, my word. Another kill going down, and the Vayne getting the Nautilus as well. They're going to really double down on this advantage looking at the Nexus turrets here.
Yeah, they're looking at the Nexus turrets. They may well be able to get one, but the issue is if they commit to this wall, but Tryndamere's forced to ulti there just to survive the Malefic Visions out of them. Malzahar, they're going to be able to pick up this turret, but what state are they going to be in looking at this sole point now? Their mid laner and their AD carry chunked out to half HP, and everyone on the side of SEAL Team 6 up, as well as even the Lulu now, missing quite a bit of her HP. It's going to be really hard to take this fight if the side of SEAL Team 6 is able to make it to the dragon before it started.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna go in here, just say, we need to take this. If they go in, we might all die, but we have to risk it for the biscuit, am I right? And you see that coming out, and then the SEAL Team 6 actually just going straight to Baron.
Yeah, and this Baron's gonna be really successful too. Malzahar still half HP, Vayne, however, has healed up. Jarvan, too, really low on mana, only gonna be able to get one combo off. They will peel off, though, looking for the fight.
Risk it for the biscuit, folks! They're going in! They have to stop the Baron, and then there's gonna be a nice team fight. Huge! Ultimate coming down from Jarvan into a nice ultimate with Lulu locking up 4 members of the enemy team. They're gonna be going in for another re-engage. Malzahar getting 2 kills. There comes Vayne. She takes out the Morgana. There's Kai'Sa. Are they gonna be able to kill her? She is gonna be going down with the exhaust coming huge in that very niche instance. And now they're gonna be working on
the Baron. They're hitting the Baron. All right.
They're going to Baron.
They could just really walk it in with the Wukong in the bot lane. By the way, 4 versus 5 there.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, you know, I don't know what to say about this game. Them boys look like they're gonna win it. Picking up the dragon there, denying the soul point. Now a 7k gold advantage, 8k nearly with his turret falling. Wukong gonna get out with his life there too, if he desires it. And just, really, it's, I don't know what to say. Lots of weird plays consecutively from the side of SEAL Team 6 there, putting a lot of advantage into the pockets of Dem Boys, bringing back that 14 kill advantage to now only 1. And the turrets have not gotten better. The map objectives have not followed suit for the side of SEAL Team 6.
Yeah, you see a huge ultimate coming in from Jarvan that fight into a huge Lulu ultimate as well, which was vital in that team fight. They were all so low that getting that CC down and that Vayne doing extra damage into the backline was massive. As well, with the Malzahar as well, doing great damage. Wukong wasn't there, but he was split pushing, getting possibly an inhibitor if things went south.
Yeah, and it's shocking actually that fight went so well despite the Wukong not being there. a great Jarvan ulti, as you said, just keeping all of Dem Boys locked up and out of that fight, and then just picking them off one at a time. Tryndamere ulti was either just bent in the cage or not up at all in that fight. I'm not sure.
You do see the fight coming down, the ultimate going down onto the Tryndamere. Here comes the ultimate from Wukong, does pick up the Tryndamere. They're going to be engaging onto under the turret, the second tier turret actually. The Wukong going to be potentially ending the game just behind the scenes here. They're going to have to re-engage this. They're going to have to either lose the game or lose an inhibitor, and they might be both.
Yeah, it's really looking like both right now. They will pick up this kill onto the Wukong, like, thanks to a nice Dark Binding. But this is 2, probably 3 inhibs going down here. They really should just turn onto this mid lane inhib. The Vayne hitting it, it will go down. That's 3 inhibs.
There's the Jarvan, and whoa! Down goes all up to the Vayne. Vayne doing massive damage. She's going on to the Nautilus as well. Does take out the Nautilus. They're going 1, 2, 3 out of the fight, Kai'Sa. And then a Quadra kill coming in this side. No, not Quadra. That's going to be an ace for the Malzahar. Get in the game. Good game. Dem Boys coming in hot.
Yeah, Dem Boys really picking up the pace there at the, 19-20 minute mark. Just puts their foot on the pedal and does not let go for the next 6-7 minutes of the game. Closes it out in convincing fashion from what was anything but a convincing early game for either team. And just, yeah, walking it down. Great Vayne play coming out. Great kiting in these team fights. Interesting builds coming out of both of the AD carries. And just not, the Tryndamere not able to do what he needs to do. The Olaf does fall off a cliff. Really, it's only there to get to Black Cleaver. And then, if you're really far ahead in items and levels, it can keep doing stuff. But if not, as we saw this game, only a little bit ahead, does sort of just hit the brick wall. Jarvan built full tank, as they should, and stood in front of the enemy team and said, I can't die. You're not getting to my carries thanks to my ulti. And just did a great job in team fights for them. And just slowly walking forward in these team fights with the Vayne ulti and just securing the win.
Yeah, you do see once again the coming out with the game plan as well. They just stick to the plan. They knew what was going to happen. Step A, lane. Step 2, objectives. Step 3, team fights and picks. Step 4, get the major inhibitors going down, and then eventually into the nexus there. And very well done on the side of Dem Bros, and really going along with just understanding how their team works. The Wukong team fought only a handful of times there, but like his itemization there as well was meant for dueling. His whole purpose was to stop Tryndamere. And they played that expertly well, and their team, the team synergy was extraordinary, and I'm excited to see more what they're going to bring to the table when they go into further matches.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just as you said, I'm really excited to see what they're able to pull out in their future matchups. Unfortunate games coming out of the side of CEAL Team 6. Their bot lane really doing their best to just do what they can, really. Even this game, it wasn't anywhere near as bad as the first game, but Kai'Sa still the primary damage source in these team fights. Tryndamere never really getting a chance to team fight. Olaf falling off, as we discussed, and Morgana's just not a champion that does consistent damage. She can set up some nice picks, but not able to get enough in these team fights for her team to win. As far as MVP and Ace are concerned, I mean, that's a hard one, I guess. I think MVP has to go over to the Vayne, though I want to give props to the Malzahar and to some of the Jarvan's team fighting. I don't think the Jarvan's early game was warranted the MVP, but the team fighting coming out of this Jarvan was actually pretty fantastic. Great ultis coming out in the larger team fights. But MVP going to Styx on the Vayne. And Ace, I feel like Ace probably goes to Bucci Boy on the Olaf this game, though you could make a good argument for pretty much anyone on his team save for the Tryndamere, who just sat top lane all game. Again, that's what Tryndamere does. No flame there. That's just really what the champion has to do. It doesn't give you a lot of chances to play make if you don't get ahead in lane. But I think I'll throw it over to the Olaf because they instigated a lot of really, really positive advantages for their team in the early game. And even if their score looks bad at the end of the game, that's just a consequence of how their champion plays out.
Yeah, very well said. Any takeaways as a series from a whole here, Hunter? Like from both games, what would we expect more from both teams, and what do you want to see more from both teams?
I really want to see CEAL Team 6 play their bot lane concisely more. I've been very impressed by their support, and especially this series, their AD carry deft has looked very impressive. As far as the rest of the map, it's been inconsistent at best. We've seen mid lane go pretty coin toss, rarely even, and we've seen top lane not pull the advantage that you might want to see out of it. And jungle as well has been their jungler has looked very good on aggressive junglers, but not I would be sticking to aggressive junglers and perma-ganking bot lane if I were CEAL Team 6 right now. As far as them boys, lots of advantages coming out of this top lane when they're ganked, when they're not ganked. Lots of great CS advantages coming out. I'm really happy to see that. Probably more play to that side of the map. And they really pulled it back in the bot lane. The first game did not look good for them, but that Vayne performance was quite impressive and really showed that they knew what they were doing on that role and can carry. So them boys has a lot of options open to them. Mid lane looks really consistent. Jungle looks interesting. I feel like the Jarvan just got really unlucky on a lot of those ganks, but there were a lot of good ganks coming out in the prior game. So just a lot of options available, and consistency is the key for them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Great games all around. I would like to thank all of my stream team here. I would like to thank all of the CEAL community and everyone for showing up today. Was a lot of fun. We'll be back again tomorrow. Hunter, any final thoughts and takeaways?
No, absolutely. Just what Ryder said there. Thanks for showing up. No, we only played the one game today, and we're sorry that the streams have been so short recently between random real life things coming up for casters and stream technical difficulties. We've had a hard time doing the super long streams that we were doing a few weeks ago, but we'll be back at it as soon as physically possible, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Couldn't agree more.